Good evening, everyone. Oop, yeah, start this way. Welcome, everyone. It is Friday evening. It is 7 p.m. That can only mean one thing. Time for our 1 hour weekly live stream. What's up, Matt, Wolf, Mark, Max, Titanic Nerd? How's everyone's week been? Hope you guys have had a good week. It was a slow, agonizing week. I'm glad it's over. As customary, we will take a look at what's joining us on the shelf this week. We have USS Arizona there at the bottom. We have the Queen Mary. She has not been with us in a while, so she is joining us this week. And up top, center of attention this week, the Big U, the SS United States. Guys, we have an update on the lawsuit involving the Big U. About an hour ago, I got an email from the SS United States Conservancy. So we are going to go over that. Karen, good evening. Wolf, I hope the news is good. Well, we've been waiting for this for months, guys, and they have rendered a verdict in the court case. Penn Warehousing versus the SS United States Conservancy. So, I'm imagining you guys have not heard the verdict yet. So here it is. The SS United States Conservancy has prevailed in their court case against Penn Warehousing. So, Wolf, I hope the news is good. It's not, is it? Well, you just heard it. I'm going to read you guys the email that I got from the Conservancy right now, and I got it just about an hour ago. So that obviously gives us something to talk about here. So, let me pull up the email. I'm going to read it to you guys. Dear SS United States supporter, U.S. District Court let me start over. U.S. District Court Senior Judge Anita Brody ruled today that the SS United States landlord, Penn Warehousing, could not double dockage fees without notice in its efforts to force America's flagship from Pier 82 in Philadelphia. However, and here's the caveat, the court also directed the irreplaceable national symbol to vacate the premises by September 12th, 2024. That's just under 3 months from now. The ruling while a partial victory for the Conservancy sets up a race against time to save the nation's sole remaining historic ocean liner. While the Conservancy was vindicated in not being compelled to pay a large sum of back rent to the SS United States' pier operator, the ruling makes clear this iconic American symbol is in peril. The judge's decision gives us a very limited window to find a new home for the SS United States and raise the resources necessary to move the ship and keep her safe. We must do both to avoid the tragic fate that countless supporters from around the world have worked for over a decade to prevent. As a result of the ruling, we will be launching an urgent campaign to help save America's flagship and celebrate her historic legacy. More details to follow. Then it gives you a link to read the full ruling, which we will not do here. I will do later on. It goes on. Relocating a ship the size of the SS United States is complex and costly. It requires funds for insurance, tugs, surveys, and dock preparations to ensure the ship's safe passage to a new home. The Conservancy has been actively exploring potential pier locations in the Philadelphia area and along the East Coast, able to accommodate the nearly 1,000-foot long ocean liner. We have also been engaging in targeted outreach to federal and state officials who could help with that effort. When the United States has faced imminent danger before, our supporters from across the country and around the world have always stepped up to save her from destruction. While the Conservancy is responsibly preparing for all possible scenarios, we have great faith that our global community of supporters will help us meet this latest challenge. As we approach our nation's 250th birthday, the loss of this American masterpiece could be viewed at home and abroad as a tragic metaphor. A unique historic achievement that bears the name of our great nation should not be at grave risk of destruction. We will continue to keep you closely informed of our plans and will share how you can help us in the days to come. We are very grateful for your continued support of the SS United States Conservancy and our tireless efforts to save this soaring symbol of American pride and innovation. And that is the whole email. So now I'm going to read everybody's reactions in the chat. Well, yes, she won for now. Matt, I'll be hopping in and out of stream. Okay, no worries. Wolf, I'm so relieved. Agreed. Mark, hopefully she finds a new place. Wolf, I hope she gets a new home soon. Max, yes, hopefully. That's all we can do. And as the Conservancy puts out updates on how people can help and contribute, I will share those in the Discord. I will share those on the YouTube channel. I will make a donation as if I can. So do everything we can, on our side to help save the Big U. So she's safe for at least three more months, but something has got to happen because we knew even before, no matter what the outcome of the case was, we knew even if she won, she could not stay there. The Conservancy has been very clear about that before this verdict came. They've mentioned this months ago. So we saved her for now. She's safe. But again, 3 months. That is the timeline. So keep our fingers crossed and we'll see what happens. You guys can imagine how my heart like to drop when I saw that I got an email and it said something about the verdict in the title. So that's where we're at. But you saw me switch to a picture of yeah, I'm at 3 months to move a ship. Yeah. I mean, move physically moving the ship, assuming put her next to the kid. That would be the greatest thing ever. And we're talking about in Baton Rouge, not in Homa. There's no way she could ever make it to Homa. She's just way too big. But forgot where I was going to go with that. Um, let's move on to this picture here. So, in other news, other ship news, we have an image of Mark. Put her in New York City next to the Intrepid. Well, that was the Conservancy's goal from for a while now, Mark. They've been reaching out for quite a while now, trying to find a home for her in New York, since that was her, her original birth. Wolf, if only she could be by Queen Mary. That would be amazing. Geez, could you imagine touring the Big U and the Queen right by each other, and then you've got the Iowa 20 minutes from the Queen. About an hour south of that, you've got the Midway. That would be a serious. You could spend a few days in Southern California just touring ships. Matt, the World War II History Museum could use a new attraction. That would be absolutely amazing, Matt. But I don't know. It doesn't fit their theme, considering um, the Big U was not built until well after World War II ended. I mean, truthfully, the Queen Mary, sticking to the theme of World War II, the Queen Mary would actually be a more adequate attraction in that theme, considering the Queen Mary II is in fact a World War II veteran. But if they were to say, hey, this is still an American icon and we can save her, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And yes, people already flock from all over the world to view the World War II museum, even though the Big U is not technically a World War II thing. Could you imagine how many people would come to see the Big U were she at the museum and restored? They wouldn't care that she's not, a World War II veteran. They would still come and tour that ship. Um, but yeah, anyway, guys, here we are. We're looking at a picture of New Jersey. This is from today. She left the dry dock that she was in today, and she's back in New Jersey, but not at the berth where she is where she's open as a museum ship. I forget the city. Let me pull the name of the city back up. I do forget. I think it's like Paulsboro or something like that. USS New Jersey. I did watch some of the live stream this morning. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. Yeah, so it's Paulsboro, New Jersey. Wolf in New Jersey is looking great. She most certainly is. Let's see. Battleship New Jersey was on the move again Friday. It made its way to Paulsboro for a few days. The historic USS New Jersey battleship left the Philadelphia Navy Yard around 8 a.m. on Friday, where it has been dry docked while undergoing maintenance. The ship arrived around 10:30. Where it will dock for 6 days before returning home to Camden next Thursday. So I would imagine, guys, at some point next Thursday, the New Jersey's YouTube page will go live again, and they will be live streaming the New Jersey going back home. So be ready for that. In other news, I know the kids' YouTube page is live right now as well. I'm going to watch that later on, and they will also be live again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can expect me to be participating in that chat, of course. Um, so that's big news week, guys. Big pig news week, as you can see. Wolf, gotta love the New Jersey. Well, who doesn't love the Black Dragon? I mean, come on. Man, I really wish Steve was in here tonight because I'd love to get his thoughts on the situation with the Big U. Um, so that's all I've got for the news this week. Uh, Wolf, only active battleship during the 1960s. Only active battleship not only in the United States but in the world. New Jersey was the only active battleship involved in Vietnam. So let's start up some footage that we're going to look at for the rest of the stream. Had so much news, with the Big U this week, guys. It was mind blowing with the news on the ship. So let's switch over and let's start up. We are going to look at some warships footage this week, guys, but this is a little bit unusual. What we're looking at here is Mark says Steve is a bit under the weather right now and making supper. Okay, well we'll probably talk with him still at some point, and because I want to get his thoughts on the situation with the Big U. Well, if I believe there were 2 French battleships, but I think they were inactive and scrapped during the 60s. No, as best my knowledge goes, Wolf, New Jersey was the only active battleship in Vietnam in the world. I'm fairly certain I got that right. Yes, Wolf, this is a German destroyer. This is in warships. It's a level 8 destroyer, and it's a Z-32. The reason I'm showing this, I know we don't really show a whole lot of non-American warships. I mean, we are all American travels, with the exception of the Iron Duke. The reason being that we're showing this is because this is a D-Day event that's going on in warships right now, and it's a month-long event. So I thought I would record a match and show you guys what one of these looks like. And there's going to be different ones. You play as the Germans in this one. I think one came out today where you're playing the Allies in another one. And you can win all kinds of stuff. I believe that I know I actually won a free premium ship because I played X number of missions doing this. It was a Russian ship, not really something I wanted, or I couldn't care less if I got it or not. But since I got it, I'll try it out. Let's see. Oh, Matt, I got the GoPro up viewing from my phone to monitor. Oh, yeah, you're cat chasing. Well, if I remember this, I watched one of my friends playing it. Titanic Nerve, today, 113 years ago, RMS Olympic departed Southampton on her maiden voyage. Olympic being the GOAT of White Star ships. Mark says, yay, Olympic. And you guys know I love the Olympians, but Olympic is by far the most successful of the White Star ships, in my view. I kind of alternate between, her, Titanic, and Britannic sometimes as to which one's my favorite of all the ships. But no denying that, Old Reliable was the most successful. And I know Mark posted a painting of HMT Olympic in the Discord a little while ago. I've already posted that picture in Discord, but I never grow tired of looking at it. So yeah, what's happening in this mode, guys, is you got a team playing against a bunch of NPCs, and you see, if you look over at the HUD on the bottom right-hand corner, you've got these green circles with green dots. In fact, you see green dots here on the map. Those are mines that you lay. And you see the giant white circle that's on the map. The farther you move in any direction on this particular map is the radius in which you can lay the mines. And obviously, I've learned you want to wait till the enemy ships are getting relatively close to your area, and then you hurry up and go drop those mines, and hopefully they'll hit a few of them. You can see in this match, I've already sunk one ship. The goal in this round is to defend. You look at the land at the very bottom of the HUD. You can see four highlighted green spots. You have to defend those. Ensure at least 3 coastal guns remain operational until reinforcements arrive, and that is the ultimate goal on this map. Well, if the destroyer does have a pretty nice camo, it's not a bad looking ship. You know, this ship, just like every other German ship, including Bismarck, Tirpitz, you know, you were just on the wrong side of the fight. Guys, I'm going to go grab my drink. I will be right back. Anyone notice that picture behind me too? On the wall? Let me get out the way here. I want to move. I feel like I should be moving this way. Yeah. So look on the wall behind me, guys. That is a I don't know if I ever showed that on the stream. I just put that up actually. I know you can't see it too well, but that is a picture, a painting. Yeah, you can't really see what it is. That is a painting of the kid when she's under attack by the kamikaze. I'm gonna look online real quick and see if I can find an actual image of it. I actually bought that at the museum. Let's see. USS Kid painting. Nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna have to. I will take a picture of it and post it in the Discord because another thing you can't probably see. There's another picture on the wall. Let's see, move it right there. Yeah, right there. And that is the USS Alabama. And it's a painting of the Alabama, and it says something coming home to Mobile. So that's a depiction of when the Alabama was obviously being towed to Mobile to begin her life as a museum ship. Has anyone ever bought a Ken Marshall painting of Titanic or anything else like Lusitania or anything? I've been wanting to get. That's kind of what I've been wanting to do is put more like paintings up in my living room of some ships, and obviously Titanic would be near the top of the list. And what better to have than a Ken Marshall painting? And I've seen some of his paintings. He's got some great paintings of Titanic. So yeah, looking at this, I've sunk 2 ships by this point. Has anyone ever even looked at his paintings? Mark, I love Kim Marshall paintings. Probably very expensive. I would imagine they are. The thing is, Mark, I would imagine with someone like Ken Marshall, you're probably going to get something that is, I don't know if it's going to actually be hand painted by him, as it'll probably be like a reproduction of some kind of one of his paintings. I could be wrong on that. I've never really seriously looked into it, but it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. I know he's got one of Lusitania sinking as well, and I want to say that either Mike Brady or Tom Linsky, one of them, modeled an image after one of his paintings. I want to say, I'm pretty sure it was Tom Linsky. Mark, I have his painting in Titanic books. Can you post a link to that in Discord, Mark? I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Is it just a collection of his paintings, like printed into a book? Well, I can't be the only person who thinks World War II destroyers are probably the best looking destroyers out there. You're definitely not the only one. Wolf, obviously, I agree with that sentiment. I don't. There are very few modern warships that I find look as good as old ships. They're like it's like ocean liners or cruise ships. We've all talked about this ad nauseum. Cruise ships are just floating hotels as opposed to ocean liners. Ocean liners actually look like ships. You know, whether you like Titanic or not, Titanic was better looking than anything you're going to see made today. She looked like an actual ship. The same for the other Olympians, all the Cunard ships from back then, all of them. They all look like ships. A cruise ship is nothing more than a damn hotel, on a hull. Mark, illustration in books. Okay. Yeah, I would be interested in seeing what that's like, Mark. This was pretty cool what happened here. These two battleships almost kind of got like stuck on each other. And you can see I've sunk three ships by this point. Man, the torpedoes. Steve! How are you doing, Steve? I think it's either Mark or Max. One of them told us you are under the weather today. I hope it's not too bad, whatever it is. And Steve, you were not here when we started, obviously, but have you heard the big news about the big U? Man, I wish I could have got the video to you on time. No worries. There will be more live streams. Steve, I'm good. Not a great day, but I'm okay. Steve, my friend, you have not heard the news. The news broke about an hour before I went live. So at 6 o'clock, I got an email from the SS United States Conservancy. The lawsuit has been settled. The verdict is as follows. The SS United States Conservancy has prevailed in the lawsuit against Penn Warehousing. They are not obligated to pay Penn Warehousing any back rent whatsoever. Now for the caveat. Um, Having said that, they have till September 12th of this year to get the ship away from Penn warehousing. That's the tricky part. That's just under 3 months from now. So that's a huge, huge deal. So, I mean, obviously, we're all thrilled to death that they won. But now it's a race against time to find the Big U a new home. Yeah, not surprised. And I was explaining this earlier, Steve. We knew well before today that no matter what the outcome was going to be, according to and this is from the United States Conservancy, that regardless of the outcome, they had to find a new home for the ship. There was no question about that. So yeah, that's not a surprise at all. Mark, I sent a picture in Discord of the book with Ken Marshall paintings. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mark. I'm going to look at that sometime this evening after the stream. So we're switching. We're going to look at BB-39 here for a minute, guys. Yeah. So, Steve, what's your initial reaction? What's going through your mind right now? Moonzer's here. How are you doing, Moonzer? Have you heard the news about the SS United States? That's the big story for our stream tonight. Yeah, so my initial reaction, obviously, excitement, but a little uneasy at the same time. You know, obviously concerned. Yeah, we're going to watch Arizona Rec Shop here for a few minutes. We haven't looked at her in a while. And speaking of which, guys, I did start... gotta love American Dreadnoughts. Hell yes. Gotta love American Power. Steve, relieved but not surprised about the caveat. No, the Conservancy said as much. Again, months and months ago. No matter what the outcome was, they'd have to find the ship a new home. And so, yeah, that's where we're at with it. Moonzer, I have not, but I watched the Battleship New Jersey stream this morning. What happened? Yeah, so a side note, I mean, I know we've covered it already, but New Jersey left dry dock this morning. She is back in New Jersey at Paulsboro, at a dock in Paulsboro, New Jersey. She will be heading back to her pier where she serves as a museum ship next Thursday. So Moonzer, concerning the SS United States, we got a verdict in the court case today. The Big U, SS United States Conservancy, has prevailed in its lawsuit against Penn Warehousing. So what that means is they do not have to pay back rent to Penn Warehousing, so they don't owe those guys an extra dime for anything, but they have to move the ship away from there. It cannot stay at Penn Warehousing. They have until September 12th to find a new home for the Big U. And so that's the news that broke about an hour before I went live. Well, shame it would be too expensive to build a replica of a battleship. Yeah, definitely. So that's got me wondering. So let's say, okay, here's a question for everybody. Moonzer, oh, that's great news. It is great news. They won, but again, they have to find her a new home. There's no two ways about it. Let's live in fantasy land here for a minute, guys. You are the owner of the SS United States, and you have the money to move her anywhere in the country that you want. Where Are you going to move her? I'll wait for you guys' responses. Moonser, I'm going to Philly in a few weeks, maybe to visit her, definitely before my trip to Long Beach. Oh, well, excellent. Diamond Star says, I'm back. Welcome back, Diamond Star. It's been a while since we've heard from you. Now, me, I didn't even answer my own question yet. Not gonna lie, I would put her somewhere in the South where it's easy for me to go see her whenever I want. Um, Mark, NYC or my backyard? I don't know if she's gonna fit in your backyard, Mark, unless you've got a hella huge backyard. Uh, Wolf, I'd move her to New York or another populated city where she'll get attention and tourists and from tourists and locals. Steve, she truly belongs in New York City. Yep, I. The general consensus seems to be New York, and that is honestly where she belongs. But she is the SS United States, and which means she can be put anywhere in the country. She bears our country's name. So she could go anywhere in the country. Ideally, yes, New York. Steve, I love the South, but the worst location for preserving a large steel aluminum artifact. That is true. And Steve, I'm glad you're here so we can talk about this for a minute. I'm sure we've had this discussion before, but we have plenty of naval museum ships in the South. What would stop the SS United States from being a museum ship in the South? And I know we talked about the Queen Elizabeth before, and it didn't work out with her being in Florida. I know it was something to do with the climate. I forget exactly all the details. But we're talking about two different types of ship here. I mean, and I mean comparing the Big U and the Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Mary. Um, the Big U is almost 20 years newer than. Oh, look at that ship coming right into us. The Big U is almost 20 years newer than both the Queen Mary and the Queen Elizabeth. Would not have been made from the same materials, or at least, or I could be wrong on that. But I have this thought in my head that maybe they're not all made from the same type of material. I'm sure you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Mark says hurricanes. Well, Mark, I'm going to shoot that down, and I'll tell you why. The USS Orlick, Alabama, Drum, Kidd, even North Carolina, Laffey, Texas, Stewart, Cavala are all museum ships in hurricane-prone areas. So the hurricane thing it won't work, especially considering the Big U is a larger and most likely heavier ship than all of those what all of those museum ships are. Now I remember the Alabama suffered minor damage during Katrina, and when I say minor, um, I think she had a slight list to starboard, if I remember right, involving the storm, but the repairs were minimal. So yeah, I don't think hurricanes are gonna phase it one way or another. Yeah, Steve. So yeah, hurricanes wouldn't be much issue for the Big U. But Steve, what? Why do you think? I want your opinion on this. I just named like 8 or 9 ships that are all in the southern climate that serve as museum ships. Why do you think the Big U would not be able to be a museum ship somewhere in the south, either along the Gulf or the southern Atlantic coast? I'm interested in your thoughts on that. Gonna grab a quick drink. Uh, uh, whew. I tell you what. If we were to put her in the South, all right, here we go. Steve says all those museum ships have a rigorous rust abatement SOP. I'm sorry, Steve, I don't know what the SOP means. And why wouldn't the Big U have something like this as well? I tell you, if you were to put her in the South, to me, in my opinion, the most logical place to put the ship would be Houston. Standard operating procedure. Okay. So why wouldn't the Big U have that as well? If she were to be a museum ship based somewhere in the South. So yeah, like I was going to say, if you were to have her somewhere in the South, I would put her in Houston. The reason for Houston, it's one of the top 5 largest cities in the country. The population there is absolutely massive. Um, so tourism and would not be an issue. I mean, I think Houston's population alone is like 6 million people. So you factor that many people that could go see the ship at any given point in the year, along with people from out of state, out of country that would go and visit the ship, plus do all the billion other things there are to do in Houston. I know I've been to Houston many times. Um, if you were to put her in the South, Houston is the most logical choice, in my opinion. Okay, here Steve says, well, first, Big U will never be a museum ship. She has to be a multi-use venue for profit. And that is a fair point. But technically, I mean, and I know that's what the Queen Mary, that's the purpose of the Queen Mary, but is it the Queen Mary technically also a museum ship to some degree? I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong on that. Wool says, technically, any place for United States would be good if it had a good amount of people. That's one of the biggest reasons Texas and Salem have issues being in the state they are in because of a lack of people and tourists. Well, Texas, and we're talking BB 35, at the same where she was in San Jacinto wasn't the most ideal place to have a museum ship. I believe, and I think they've made the right call. Having the ship when it reopens, keeping the ship in Galveston, because Galveston is a tourist town. You're going to have um, you got a lot more people that are going to visit Galveston than what they were visiting San Jacinto. So I think the Texas is going to be in a much better position financially moving forward than what she's ever been, and that's going to be a lot to do with location. Um, the Alabama does quite well in Mobile. The Kid in Baton Rouge is the second most visited tourist attraction in Baton Rouge, only behind Tiger Stadium at LSU. So yeah, it's all about putting them in a place where there's a large population. They will generate revenue. Look at the Midway in San Diego. That's a prime example. Wolf. Let's see. Okay, I read that already. Matt says I like that idea. Yeah. Steve says rust abatement, like what would be needed, will add to operating costs. Well, of course it will. Um, I wonder though if you put her. It's and I could be wrong on this. It would seem to me like rust would not be as big of a factor if she's in a freshwater environment as opposed to a saltwater environment. Moons are welcome back. Steve, I mentioned the Queen Mary is sort of a museum ship as well, and Steve says yes, but until recently hasn't been treated as such. Let's see. Matt says, I wonder what the most popular museum ship is. That, Matt, I do not have any idea. That would be something cool to research. What is the most visited museum ship? Steve, how many of them get local, state, Fed funding or for simply existing, though? Hmm. Steve answering Matt's question, probably Intrepid. Moonser, Queen Mary is not gutted. Some interiors are, though. Yeah, and that's the thing, though. Here, in a way, that could work to the Big U's advantage. She is a completely gutted ship, which means you have a blank canvas. You can start off restoring certain areas, the areas that you most intend to use at first, and then do the rest later. Do it in increments. You don't have to do the whole thing all at once. So if they approach it from that way, it could be an advantage. Well, if I say Missouri, Constitution, Belfast, and Victory are the most popular. Moons are standard cabins are gutted rooms. Yeah, but again, there are limitless possibilities that they can use the Big U for. I mean, hell, you could put a damn casino on the ship. I mean, you can put hotel rooms, you can put a casino, you can put a freaking swimming pool, a gym. There's so many possibilities you can do with a gutted ship. Matt says, according to Google, as of February 2023, the most visited museum ship is the HMS Victory with 450,000 annual. Wow. Does it say what the Matt, does it say what the most visited American museum ship is? I would be curious to know that. Let's see. Steve, Big U's true museum pieces are her machinery pieces. Yeah, can't argue that. Moons are, in my honest opinion, I believe they should make her interiors 100% exact replicas of her interiors, and that's another option. Like I've said, there are plenty of options you can do with a blank canvas. Well, if I knew Victory would be, yeah, Victory is the most popular. And see, Steve says Queen Mary beats that number yearly. Huh. And so she's still not considered a true museum ship. Oh no, and I get that. I do. But I don't know. I mean, can you not do there? I mean, there are tours on the Queen Mary, correct? I mean, that you may not officially call them museum tours or something, but you can tour the ship though. I could go to the Queen Mary tomorrow and buy a ticket and get a tour of the ship. Can I not? Matt says, okay, the Midway is the most popular American museum ship, which that does not surprise me at all, given her size and given her location. Steve says, "You concerning the Queen Mary? Yes, I can go there tomorrow. Buy a ticket. You can get a guided tour and what we call a self-guided. You know, you can do they give you? I'm guessing you get a map or something, and you've got like I know on the Alabama, for example, the tour of the ship is broken down into like three colors. Um, You've got the yellow part of the tour, which is all the outside and the upper decks, like in the superstructure. Then you have the green tour, which is inside the ship in the forward areas. And then you've got the red tour, which is also inside the ship, but in the aft areas. Is the Queen set up something like that? Mark, self tours are probably the best. Well, on the Alabama, the North Carolina, every museum ship I have been on, they offer a self guided tour. You can get guided tours. You can even get guided tours on the Kid if you want. I personally have never done any of the guided tours, but I know they're available. Oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, we switched ships here. We're going to close out looking at BB-35. If you haven't noticed, Wolf, USS Texas here. We started off video footage looking at the D-Day, and we are going to close out looking at one of the ships that was actually there. USS Texas, BB-35. One of my favorites. Mark, self tours are probably the best, especially when you've done them as many times, like the Kid, the Alabama. When you've done those as many times as I have, it doesn't. I don't need a guided tour, but I'm sure if I did a guided tour, I could learn some stuff that I did not previously know. Moonzer, I think there should also be a United States line story like the Kennard story on Queen Mary. Steve, not that elaborate of a setup, referring to what I was saying on the Alabama about the green, red, and yellow tours. And it says you just a map, you wander where you want. Well, and really, even on the self-guided tours, Steve, like if you go to the Alabama, you don't have to follow the tour. You can do whatever you want. You they it's the self-guided tour. It's more of a suggestion because in their view it'd be the best way for you to see everything and absorb as much information as you can, but you do not have to follow it at all. Mark, I saw a carrier. I did too, Mark. I've been to the Midway in San Diego. I was there a few years ago. Will says, I believe Laffey was at D-Day, but I could be wrong. Why don't you look that up, Wolf? Let us know. We've got about it's 7:55. We'll stay for like another 10 minutes or so. If you can look that up and let us know. Steve, to be honest, I believe that the museum ships, naval ships, are a bit of a clique. Did you mean cliche? Queen Mary has never been treated as one of the bunch, and rightfully so. For one, she's not an American ship, and she's not a warship. I mean, well, you could say she was a warship in World War II, but she hasn't been one before or after. Moonzer, I don't have a need for any mods right now, buddy. As long as I can keep up with the chat, I'm pretty much the only mod that I need. Okay, so you did okay. My apologies, Steve. I misread your comment. But I would say in the end, let's see. Oh wait, Wolf's got a response for us. According to the internet, Laffy is the last remaining American destroyer to see action in the world. Can you be a bit more specific? Because I'm sure we had destroyers after Laffy. Vietnam, the Gulf War, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. We've had to have more modern warships that have seen some sort of combat action. In D-Day. Okay, that makes sense. So Laffy was indeed at D-Day. Funny they never put that ship in warships. If she's the last American destroyer to have been at D-Day, she should be in this game. I mean, wouldn't you think? Yeah, so we just got a few minutes left, guys. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up here. Today's news is obviously great. We're all thrilled about the news involving the Big U. But again, it's a race against time now. I will post updates on the YouTube channel and the Discord as I see them. So I'm sure they'll be asking for donations. I will certainly be making one when I can. Well, sorry, I'm typing stuff between Discord and here, so I just accidentally messed up my facts. No worries, Wolf. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for you guys this week. Let's pray for the Big U. Let's keep it let's keep positive and hope that she will indeed get a new home. Yes, Mark. September 12th is D-Day for the Big U. Oh, and Wolf, she is the last destroyer. Laffy, she is the last destroyer that saw action at D-Day in the world. Yeah. So, guys, the content schedule is as follows. Our random shorts are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central U.S. time. Our weekly videos, although I did not have a video this week, our normal weekly video catch or stream is, or our normal weekly full-length video is Fridays at 7 a.m. And our weekly 1 hour live stream is every Friday evening at 7 p.m. We do this every Friday night. And Steve said, thanks, James. Glad I caught you. Better late than never. No, I'm glad you came, Steve, and I'm glad that I was the one that got to break the news of the Big U to you. So I'm happy about that. So thanks again, guys, for coming. As always, it's always a good time hanging out with everyone. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see. Maybe we might have some more updates on the Big U next week, and maybe some other ships as well. We will, by this time next Friday, New Jersey will be back at her home. So don't forget, they will be live streaming that next Thursday on the Battleship New Jersey's YouTube page. And USS Kidd will be live tomorrow night on their YouTube page. So 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. I will be there. I will be in chat. So if you want to come hang out with me there while we talk about the Kidd, come join me there. Thanks again, guys. And until the next time, you all know the drill. Drive safely.